All right, now it's recording.
It's working?
Yes.
Good.
Hey,
Does anyone
everybody,
remember
welcome
what was
to.
happening last time?
I don't know. I think the Magikarp just got slapped.
No, I think you wish that it got slapped, but it
No,
didn't.
it was the
No,
thing
it
of-
got turned into a pile of
No, wait,
goo.
what was it that I threw Giorno or Jay or the fuck is his name?
Johan?
Johan.
Yo.
Why is his name Johan when it starts with a J? Why is English so stupid?
Oh no. All right, so Corin, give us
Spanish word.
a lovely recap.
I know. I'm saying, if you're gonna be smacking other languages, you gotta be looking up
That's
the other
true.
ones too.
So, last time on Qliphoth Breakdown, basically you guys got into a glorified slap fight, and I say glorified because it was glorious near the end there, for reasons that we'll get into. But basically, Diana has a table, Buck has a table. Diana activated Buck's table, and he rolled a 97 on a D100, which spawned the supermassive Titanic semi-deific Magikarp that is Swole, which then proceeded to Devin, right? That's your character's name? Devin.
Yeah.
Devin said, hey, open up a portal underneath it so I can catch it and throw it at Tanya, which succeeded. He threw it at Tanya. Tanya broke one arm, catching the thing, and then proceeded to use it as a club. Unfortunately, while everyone else was able to escape, Devin was not, as he was then embedded a good solid 3 feet into the pectorals of that Magikarp being.
And he is dead. Good riddance.
Not dead yet. Just
for reasons that
dead.
involve my personal rules, I don't kill a player character unless I have their explicit permission, which means he's mysteriously just unconscious.
Oh no,
Definitely
I'm
not DM
almost
theology.
dead.
He mysteriously vanished into the pectorals of this fish.
Yeah, surprisingly, he's still breathing, despite having spent quite a bit of time breathing nothing but Magikarp blood. But hey, sometimes the DM's just gotta fudge a little. And then Diana proceeded to try to launch an attack using Athena. Specifically, tried to slap Ron, as I recall. However, while Athena's slap power alongside Tanya is, frankly, too terrifying to go into detail about, the huge chunk of the Magikarp was reduced to nothing more than a pink mist from the force of the slap, which, as I recall, was how we left off last time, before Johan proceeded to be all like, all right, freaking shuffling the deck.
Yeah, while he's still grappled, being choked.
Granted, look, that was Megan's fault that he was able to do that.
Through what?
That was technically your fault because you stopped the card from hitting or something, whatever, and you gave him a golden arrow, and he's like, well, all right then.
Yeah, I mean, how is it? I thought he was literally gonna sabotage his teammate to get, power or something. That was my whole thought.
Yeah.
It is literally this man's first jump.
It really seemed like that. Did not expect it to go this way.
I did.
I didn't expect it to go this way.
And now,
Well,
someone's gonna have to figure out how to get the arrow out from him.
I would not have been surprised if he had just tried to kill Tanya right then and there.
Emphasis on tried. But the biggest problem here is that I don't remember who had what at the end because my documents that normally have had it, power went out and wiped it, and Notepad doesn't back things up.
I think
Johan was grappled by me because, I mean, not me, but my stand.
Johan had
I had thrown chloroform.
I think Tanya had mine, if I'm not mistaken, or big bitch lady.
Yeah, she had M14.
E1 M1.
Yeah, E1 M1. Robin
I
E1
wouldn't
M1.
be surprised if she had an M14, but I don't think that's what we're talking about here.
Johan, I don't remember, but I think he had Stardust Speedway. Actually, no, he had that previously because he caught her. She had his cards, which he then stole back. Warus, whose character I don't see. Oh, he's over here. Warus had Robin's ability. Not Robin. she had the hand.
Yeah.
Lilith had Stardust Speedway, right? Because
So
she
that
took
means
that.
I had Reptilia?
Yeah, Ron had Weptilia, and whoever is left, he had hers, I think. Yeah,
I don't
Johan
think she has
had.
a stand, does she?
She does.
She has an evolving stand.
Yeah, so Johan has the evolving stand.
So then wait, where's Stardust?
Wait, Johan
Stardust
had-
is
Sure.
with Lilith, I believe.
You know, we could easily just look at the old video and see where it ended. Who had what?
Yeah, but that'd take too long. But if I remember correctly, Lilith had Stardust. Johan had evolving. Ron had what was it called? Oh, Ron had the snakes.
Yeah, I don't
She
know
had
if I had
M1.
Reptilia, because didn't Lilith have Reptilia at one point?
Yeah, but they got switched
She
again.
did, but then it got
Switched again.
switched. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think he got to say which
Man,
one I had because
Sure is confusing. I wonder why it is that the entire roster suddenly and sharply got switched immediately after who got past
I don't know. Who allowed it to happen? Oh, whose
Okay,
fault is that?
Okay. So, from the best of my memory, and we'll just go with this because it can. Warris had the eyes without a face. Diana had the cards. She had, I know for a fact, had the hand because she killed the magic card with it.
Reduced to a bloody pulp.
Yeah, she had Ron's. Lilith had Ron's. Ron has
I
Reptilia.
guess, and I have Reptilia. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
thought
has the
Megan
growing
had
one,
Reptilia.
and she has M1, whatever it was, because she grabbed Johan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the evolving stand. Now I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what her stand
And
was. Yeah.
yeah, Robin grabbed Johan with M1, whatever it was.
It's just weird because I could have sworn I had a plan in place for Johan and that tied into his stand, but rules of
I mean, he did grab his
nature is
stand back.
completely uncircumstances.
Well, I remember that you.
Well, he
yeah,
activated Shuffle or Boogie again. Yeah.
Well, because I remembered it. I thought it was going to be like, he had my stand. Lilith had Reptilia. Because I remember I was going to be on the thing was just like, I was going to call back my stand because it has sort of slight sentience.
Yeah, and I confirmed that yours is one of the only stands
Wait,
that has
did he
that
do a
capacity.
third Shuffle of Boogie?
As of like a second before we ended the recording, yes.
Okay, now I have no idea who stuff is because you didn't
Yeah.
tell us what it was.
Yeah, but that's the problem is that I'm saying that I don't know who did it, who had what
Oh.
beforehand.
Ah. Well,
Well,
that's
now
what we
you know.
had before the Shuffle is Boogie.
So I guess if you want to, we could just start up right before the second shuffle and just retcon whatever happened in the last episode.
No.
Nah, it's not that. It's just specifically because my notepad document we had a bit of
Yeah.
information on how he gets past, how he basically avoids getting taken out in this one, and it required a specific stand that I know for a fact couldn't have been rules of nature, which is what's confusing for me because rules of nature doesn't even have a physical manifestation; it's a phenomenon type.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so now I have to rethink how in the world he's going to get out of this because
I mean, if he
pretty
did
much-
Shuffler's Boogie, he changed everything around, so he could
yeah,
have whatever
but
stand
he's
he
current.
wanted.
He also had a chloroform bomb go off right underneath him.
Yeah,
He is
Yeah.
being choked though, so he
Yeah.
can't smell it.
yeah. He's being choked out, and there's chloroform just in case he starts breathing.
I'm
But
typing out a list too, so we know who had what.
I mean, his arms probably aren't being caught if I'm choking him out.
Mm-hmm. So what are your plans?
Difficult question to answer.
Give up.
Yeah. Ultimately, Shuffle or Boogie is going to end up triggering because regardless of what happens next, he's still able to activate his stand. He's not completely unconscious yet, meaning that he can shuffle things around. The big issue is that unless he gets a certain and so basically it depends on what he gets when I turn on the whole random thing.
True. So yeah, we could just start from there because we technically didn't know what you had him shuffle it back to because I think last episode ended with him shuffling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in
So
this
Connor,
case,
I sent you a PM with all the ones that I know we had before the third shuffle.
Yeah.
So
either way, now it wouldn't really matter because they would all been shuffled anyway again.
Yeah. It's just confusing because I could have sworn there was an instance where someone used Stardust Speedway to grab onto Reptilia's crocodile jaw.
Yes, Johan used it on Lilith. When Lilith turned into a crocodile, Johan grabbed her face with a thing. That was the first shuffle.
Oh, so Ron, instead of summoning back Stardust Speedway, shuffled.
Well, at the time, he didn't think about it.
Yeah, so the first shuffle happened because of Johan, then turned to Ron's turn.
That's when my guy decided, you know what? Let me try it on mine, too.
Yeah, so the first shuffle happened, and then Lilith tried to use the Reptilia on Johan. Johan grabbed her face with the Stardust Speedway. Then it turned to Ron's turn. Ron did the shuffle again, which caused everything to have the list I just sent you. And then the third shuffle happened with Johan. And Ron's immediate reply was, I should do that with my stand. And that's where we ended.
Yeah. Try to pull back my stand. So I would pull it from somebody else. They wouldn't have a stand, unfortunately. And I would technically have 3 in that given moment.
What?
Yeah, because I would have the shuffled stand, my Stardust Speedway, and Anubis.
Oh, yeah, right. You do have Anubis still. Do you? What happened to that thing?
He still has it. He just hasn't found the right opportunity to use it. And if things go the way I want to, I might actually know I might know the proper place when to use it. Tell me, could Anubis be used to destroy a stand?
In the sense that if you stab a stand, it'll usually stab the owner and could potentially kill them. Yes.
Okay, so if the stands are shuffled and considering that it's still loyal to him, if someone was to stab it, it would still affect him, right?
Anubis is not being shuffled because it doesn't technically belong to
the other stand.
No, I mean like Johan stand, the gambling man.
I can't so technically you don't have the answer to that question in character. So what I can say is if you stab gambling man, someone's going to get hurt.
That is true. But I guess I'm just going to have to take
time to do some sweet science.
No.
Can he do this regularly? Like, can he shuffle stands regularly?
No, it's better. It's better.
Can.
I'm gonna have to take the gamble that it will hurt him.
So, I'm just finished randomizing all of the things. I think Ron's going to be surprisingly happy with this.
Ooh.
Johan's gambling man. Ron has E1, M1.
Oh no, I got E1,
Diana
M1.
has Athena.
No.
Tanya has Reptilia. Okay. Buck has Star Speedway.
Okay.
Megan has Rules of Nature. And Lilith has Eyes.
Is that the one that grows?
It's the one that rapidly causes evolution.
Oh no, Johan has his gambling.
Does it go back to normal if I stop using the stand?
Technically, no. According to a statement that you weren't there for, the question has been answered, but your character wasn't there for it.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll deal with that later.
It's Ron's turn now?
Yes, Johan triggered his
Wait, so
thing.
if E1, M1 is holding on to Johan, and it was...
When all of the cards get shuffled into the deck and doled back out, they end up in each person's hand. In other words, the stands spawn behind you, with the exception of Megan's because it's a phenomenon type, so it's everywhere all at once anyway.
Okay, so Johan is now face first into a pool of chloroform.
Not really a pool, especially since,
like
technically speaking, a bomb it's complicated, but as he does fall down, Gambling Man seems to cover his face a bit, though you note that despite the face coverings, there's still some there as he seems woozy. See how well he resists it.
Oh.
Not well. As he doesn't go completely unconscious, but he doesn't stand back up. He's
Oh
currently
my
stuck
God.
on his knees, unable to really do much of anything, even as Gambling Man
Jesus
hovers above and behind him.
Christ.
Oh, then this is the perfect opportunity for me. Okay. So, what do I gotta roll to try to use what he did and pull back at Stardust Speedway? Unfortunately, Buck, you're gonna have to go without a stand for a second here, but I need my Stardust back.
Just roll a flat d20.
All right.
You are able to
Indeed.
roll high enough as you can feel Stardust Speedway seeming to focus on you. It doesn't entirely return to you, but you can easily give it orders.
All right.
Stardust Speedway is currently with Buck over here.
So, can I get Stardust to come close enough to about to stretch out its arms, grab the arrow from Johan?
It's quite a distance. It's
It's a
75 feet.
75-foot range. I don't think that your stand's arms can reach 75
No,
feet.
I mean, like, I can make it move forward and then try to reach.
You'll have a pretty difficult time. It's inside of his arm. Like,
You can try ripping out with E1M1 though.
That's what I was also thinking.
uh,
Because as long as I have a Stardust Speedway, I know that it can come to me if I call it hard enough. That's all I really needed to check. It's all I wanted to see.
you could hypothetically rip it out once you get through the skin, which E1M1 is not exactly weak.
Yeah. So instead, it probably would be best to send E1M1 over because that would be a much shorter distance. Send it over to rip out the arrow.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright.
So what do I gotta roll to see if it'll achieve?
What, strength? Dex?
For E1M1, that'll be roll 1d20 plus 6.
1d20 plus
Jesus.
E1M1 is very strong.
Rip out its heart.
Ooh.
1.6.
18. All right. E1M1, especially with the Gambling Man there. So, this is not looking good for Johan.
Oh,
Even
God.
as Gambling Man attempts to prevent it from occurring, you can see that, yes, the
Chloroform?
wow, why can I not think that?
The arrow?
Chloroform?
Reaching in, the stand, Gambling Man is not able to prevent it as E1M1 reaches in and pretty much drives its hand right into Johan's shoulder.
Jesus.
Like I said, it's in him.
Oh,
Oh.
So it is not a good sound from either the hand or from Johan, as the E1M1 is able to grasp onto it. However, it's going to be an additional 1d20 plus 6 to actually pull it out.
All right.
Oh, I feel bad for him, man.
we gotta win.
Oh my God.
Yeah, one.
I feel so bad for Johan right now.
Ooh.
16.
16. And
Mhm.
you've got a pretty good chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
very good.
God.
Even as you pull it out, you can feel the sense. You can feel it completely starting to give way. However, there is an odd sense of resistance overall. And God, part of me does not want to do this, but other part of me says, do it anyway. That's so perfectly middling. How am I supposed to read that? I need a high or a low to be able to determine it. High. Okay. The arrow does not break.
Good.
Yeah. If it had been low, you would have broken the arrow inside of his body.
That would have been bad because it would have still. I don't know if having the arrow in, keeps the effect for it, or if it's just stabbing is what gives it the ability. So you could pull it out and you'll still retain that ability.
Yeah.
It is the stabbing because Yoshikage Kira's did not keep the arrow within his body.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he doesn't lose Gambling Man, but you now took the arrow out. Well, he doesn't lose Shuffler Boogie, but you did take the arrow out.
Mhm.
So
I believe
now
it'd be a little
the second part of my plan comes into play, unfortunately, but I might have to wait because I think that represents my turn, doesn't it?
Yes. Next comes Lilith, whose ability now is Eyes Without a Face.
You can make
Remind me
big
what that does,
teleportation.
please.
By
think
burning
basically-
pictures of a location, you can create a
Okay,
large-scale
okay, it's
portal.
teleporting. I just can't remember names.
Yep, it's big teleporting, not small teleports. So really, your character is just able to punch people right now.
She doesn't have a small one?
What if I
Oh,
just
right, that's not
leave?
Nope.
If you just leave?
Like, what if I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to Hawaii.
I mean, as long as you declare forfeiture, I don't think CO's gonna give a flip.
Wait, question. If she
Going
leaves,
to.
Yeah.
if she leaves with my stand, and we
And
finish
then it
this
gets
universe,
switched back, and I'm
does it
screwed.
get, if it doesn't get switched back, you will be screwed. Because I'm gonna go after you.
I'm
So
not
it
gonna
does
leave.
come back, right?
It's just the theory.
You can roundhouse kick
Okay.
Johan.
It's just a game theory.
Oh, Lilith. You know what you should do? You should go into fisticuffs with Tanya. It's currently lizards.
Which one? I'm not fist fighting lizards.
No,
Excuse me.
You could
Hey,
fist fire. She's literally lizards right now. You could just fist fire.
Wait, do they have poison or no? It
Alright,
doesn't carry
alright,
over.
that
Who
doesn't carry over.
is Buck's semblance, not his stand.
Mhm.
Who does this one have?
Johan has
Uh,
Gambling Man.
He has his actual stand back.
You can try to.
Yep. He also
Knock
has a
him
gaping
out.
hole in his shoulder. He's also almost asleep.
No.
Although I think the chloroform
he's-
didn't work.
It's not
fast.
exactly asleep. Like, it's very complicated. Basically, you're pretty sure that he's half dopey, half in unceasing agony. You'd
I
think
wanna
that they
kick him in the
balance
face.
out.
Basically,
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Look. Okay, let's just say it this way. He's seeing God right now.
So, if you want to kick him in the face,
On
well,
your
I was
way
going to
there.
say Dex for aim, but, I'm going to go with it. It's a solid blow as you end up kicking him hard as he tumbles off to the side, hitting his head on several of the rocks before ending up rolling
Jesus
down the area.
Christ.
Hey, I finally hit something.
Yeah, because you didn't go for a ranged attack.
No, half the time, even if I'm not going for a ranged attack, I don't hit it.
Yeah, your melee weapons just don't hit. Apparently, if you use just your feet, apparently it hurts. I feel so bad for him right now.
You should. He just got kicked by someone who has been literally building up their strength through like 5 worlds.
He's got kicked by a strength build. He's got punched by a strength build. He's had his shoulder ripped into. He's had chloroform gas inside of his face. He got freaking traumatized by a Magikarp to the face.
We were all traumatized.
This is his first jump too, so he literally met God.
Oh no!
Good old CO coming down.
Diana's got Athena.
Diana's got Athena and is currently looking right at Buck, not seemingly giving a flip about the horrendous agony that Johan was just put through.
Wait. Oh, that's right. I can't tell this. There you go. Alright. Buck has Stardust Speedway.
I did because I thought Ron took that back.
Yeah, he no longer
Technically
has
it's
Star.
hovering over. Oh, is it
technically,
not hovering
it's-
over him?
Ron, no, it's still there. It's that Ron
still
has
there.
control of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
It's
if
next to
need
Buck.
be-
It's just Ron is controlling.
Yeah, but if need be, Ron can let him have control of it back again for that brief moment, so he can use it to basically defend
Mhm.
himself. Because he doesn't have, for one, he doesn't have Reptilia, so he doesn't have his leg.
Mhm.
Well, actually, during the last interval, and it was talked about earlier, he grabbed one of his old legs.
one
He
of
grabbed
his,
his
one of his-
ruby,
Oh,
because
his
he's using the
combat leg,
semblance
okay.
a whole lot.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
probably a real good idea considering.
The roll was an attack, specifically Diana looking semi-amused as she causes Athena to basically hurl itself in a giant fist form directly at Buck. Having rolled above your AC, it is high enough to proceed to then slam Athena's fist directly into your torso.
God.
It's not the worst thing that you've taken to your chest.
To be fair, I jumped straight into a gaping maw of a giant thing as it ate at me and
You've
slowly
also
got
had a
disintegrated.
bone fragment embedded in your chest frame. That probably doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah, probably more pain by the stick of the other thing.
Yeah. Right now, you just don't feel great, as Diana just seems to be appreciating the strength behind the blow.
That's fair. That's fair. Now, Robin, you have rules of nature.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait, the rabbit is eyes without a face, right?
No, I don't have the rabbit, but I have Totodile, so I'll just go ahead and
Oh God, you do.
do that.
No, wait. Does that mean that if you evolve the Totodile, wouldn't it just become a Feraligatr?
I always kept him because I
Yeah.
liked his regular look, but he can be a monstrous little boy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I'm gonna. What does she have again? Tanya has Reptilia.
She has
Yeah, fucking go after her with the Reptilia Godzilla now.
Oh, I have a good idea of something.
Beef up
Godzilla.
Totodile, and then I
Thanks to rules of nature's ability, what happens is Totodile begins to glow. The ability of rules of nature just naturally enforces evolution, and in the case of Pokemon, that has a very specific connotation.
Yep. So does that mean that it's also does that technically mean it's Gigantamax?
No, because I don't like Sword and Shield, and I forgot that was a thing. But actually, unless you'd like to stop it, basically her Totodile will be evolving into Croconaw. With all its teeth.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not changing.
Quickly,
I like how Totodile looks.
if you
Can it
want
just
to,
get
press
bigger?
B. Press B right now if you don't want it.
You're using an enforced evolution onto a Pokemon.
Fine. It is a Godzilla. He got it.
Okay, so you now have a big. So you're saying you now have a big chubby old Croconaw?
Sure, yeah.
Cool.
I could change it. Just don't keep it as the Totodile.
Would
I won't search for another one.
only evolves once? Could it become Feraligatr?
You could evolve it again. It's mainly that because my normal thing is to give each person like 2 actions. If you spent the entire turn on evolving it, you'd have a giant honking Feraligatr.
So here's the thing, though. Remember what happened with Ash's Charizard?
Oh.
Although with Diana, her weird pupper, it did shrink after it was done, which I think people.
That is correct.
Well,
I'll just boost him again. Anyway,
funny, though,
so
her pupper
I point Tanya. I point to Tanya and say, "Oh,
Chomp.
You say what?
I just point at Tanya for Crocodile to freaking go and actually, you know what? He's gonna stand like right above me, and I'm gonna. Should I just use a Pokemon move on her? I wonder.
Sure.
Why not?
It's not exactly that big. Keep in mind, when rules of nature was used on Diana's side, Diana's partner, it already was at max evolution.
It was.
True.
Yeah.
And granted, that wasn't even it as an actual Pokemon. That was it more as a Pomeranian version of itself.
Yeah.
Neat.
Basically, at a certain point, once you reach the maximum evolution, you can't really evolve more. You can't go, well, okay, I was about to use Charizard in his example. That would have been terrible choice. He's got a Mega Evolution. There's no Mega Feraligatr, right? There's no Mega Feraligatr? Okay. Then in that case, for example, if you tried to further evolve Feraligatr, it would just get bigger.
No, wait, hang on. Do they not? I don't remember. Which
I
one
don't
was
think they have Mega Feraligatr.
which one was the Totodile part of which gen?
Gen 2.
Fui? Gen 2.
Oh, so the
Soul
Dodo.
Silver.
Okay, so it didn't have a Mega.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. Nobody gives enough love to Dodo, you know?
You know what? She can try and face him, and I'm gonna evolve him twice then to make him Feraligatr.
Cool. As I recall, Feraligatr is pretty freaking tall, but how tall was it? It was 7'7"? Oh. Well, okay. Feraligatr is now the only person in this room taller than Tanya by 1 inch. Tanya does look slightly up at the Feraligatr now, as, yeah, Tanya's built.
I think that's all the actions I can do, because I don't have a... Actually, wait, he didn't take an action, though. I just evolved him, right?
Your Feraligatr hasn't taken an action. It's complicated. Normally, group battles don't allow companions, but I am going to ignore that.
Oh, well, let me see what
So,
I'm going to do.
oh.
I'm gonna have him do...
Okay, you're roboting.
Oh, me?
Yeah, so I didn't hear what you actually said there.
I'm just looking up his move actions so that I can think of what I want him to do.
Okay.
So,
I don't think that you're...
Does Ice Beam not work on her?
You certainly try it.
Ice Beam.
Okie doke. Roll Dex, because it's a ranged attack.
I love how you're fighting over my
Nat
dead
20.
body.
That's 20.
Why did she suddenly jump up in size?
Fine, I'll shrink it back down.
So nat 20. The ice beam ends up impacting heftily against her as it hits her, and she seems to pretty much be frozen entirely in place. She just does not seem to be moving, as she's just kind of like, you can see that the ice is straining around her, but not only does it seem to have dealt a good amount of damage, it's completely immobilized her.
God damn.
Damage, or does this a natural tone? It does.
Roll 2d4 real quick.
Max damage.
It's not gonna be max, because it's not how it works. Oh.
Hot damn.
Basically max. So she does not seem well off, though admittedly through the sheet of freaking ice, it's hard to tell. Meanwhile, she's encased in ice. It is now Buck's turn.
Is Buck dead? Buck is dead.
Only on the inside.
Not very much so. Oh, so I go on mute so my microphone doesn't end up catching someone else's thing and doubling audio. Kind of just look at the stand for a moment and realize that it's not under my control, so I kind of just ignore it.
I mean, alright, if you want to.
Again, yelling halfway across, hey, give me use of the stand, gives away that you have use of your stand when it's connected to someone else. Buck also gives literally zero craps about the stand at this point, because it's not Reptilia, and the last stand he was given, he had no idea how to use. So I'm going to say he doesn't know how to use yours properly either.
Even though all you gotta do is just punch people with it and make it explode. But, yeah. I mean,
yeah, again, Buck really doesn't know how your stands work in your minds, because there's a mindset that goes with it, and Buck only knows, hey, deadly lizard things. The only other stand he could probably properly use would be stinking the stands he's seen in action properly and understands the mindset to.
Like Athena, maybe.
Yeah, basically. Mm-hmm. So you see Buck kind of just sit there, not really happy, and just kind of goes, you know, she slaps harder than that.
But of course, the pimpin' hand.
You're not even using the pimpin' hand right. For shame, Diana.
That's why she hit.
Yeah, kind of slowly raises an eyebrow. Mm-hmm.
Not even good banter, Jesus.
Give a damn.
Jeez. All right, Buck kind of pulls out his axe for a moment, and he just does his normal flippity floppity. The explosion is the property.
Okay.
as he spins it about in his hand for a moment, kind of putting it up to his mouth, and you hear him twist something in it. I'm going to make the stream a lot skinnier than normal.
Ooh.
Basically, instead of like just a beam of it, it's more like a water pressure hose.
Oh. That's gonna hurt. Okay. That'd be Dexcorn?
I believe so.
Mhm.
What?
16, damn.
Alright, and Royal Guard does not proc.
Hey, her Royal Guard is not happy with her.
Can you repeat the action you've taken against her?
Okay, so at first, as the first proper action, as a two-part thing, he spins the axe in his hand, grabs it, pulls it up to his mouth, and twists. He's basically making it to where the inside of the barrel of the blowgun, he twists it, making a smaller hole, turning it less into a kind of a beam and more of a water jet. Or a, what are those things that they use to cut metal that uses water?
You know, I knew the answer a minute ago. What is it, pressure cutter or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And aims it directly at her and just blows as hard as he can with as much effluvium as possible, trying to make a high pressure beam.
Okay. See, rolling
pressure.
16, and okay, roll 1d4 to represent damage.
Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ. All right. So, as it blasts into her remaining arm, you note that the first thing it does is it drives inwards. This creaking, screeching sound of almost metallic structure giving way as you watch as a large, chunky divot is formed inside of her arm. Her eyes going up in genuine surprise as the effluvium spatters across her body.
And as the second part of the actions, because it's a two-action thing as you're talking about, he throws 3 fire crystals. Basically, just one large one.
Okay. Roll a dex.
God damn.
That is a high enough hit. As they each impact against her and the effluvium, the high-powered detonation goes off as you can hear you can barely hear the sound of her shout over the sound of the detonation as the force of the explosion does send her careening backwards.
Jeez.
She's taken quite a bit of damage.
That, as he spins the axe in his hand, making it to where it kind of forms back into a natural thing, is power. Learn it.
Okay, roll 1d4 for her overall for damage from the second attack. Yeah, she's not looking good. Basically, her other arm is now hanging on by meaty threads. And let's see. Let me just double check that I have all the numbers correct, because according to her character sheet, fighting for a friend, or more accurately, that which demons lack. Okay. And 17. All right. Even as she's taken hefty amounts of damage, you watch as the ice begins to crack violently around her. As you note that even without her stand, she still possesses considerable power. As you watch as it seems to break apart and shatter. However, as she does that, her first response is not to try and launch a retaliatory attack. It's to extend her hand outwards and pretty much drop something onto Diana's face.
Action to catch it with a portal.
Okay, go ahead and go for Dex. That'll be your third action this round. Technically 4 if you count for Alligator. But not high enough. As the wine gourd crashes down onto Tanya's face and pretty much breaks apart. Yes, that's probably what I didn't say, but meant to say. As it splashes apart, and you watch as Diana's body seems to repair itself. However, given the fact that Diana doesn't actually seem to get up or respond to it, you're quite confident that she's not conscious.
Jesus Christ.
You knocked her out with one punch.
The amount of
Well,
goddamn friendship
technically-
that Diana has.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, technically it wasn't one shot.
Yeah.
She's lost an arm, been blown up several times. I think shot at once, and just got hit with 2 different attacks in one round.
And does she also have the ability of that she just dies hard?
It has
Barbie?
more to do
Yeah.
with a certain. She doesn't have that exact ability that you're referring to.
Mhm.
They didn't do the
But
roof
she has
jump.
basically the same one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically. You note that even as she heals, Diana's body seems to get markedly less swole now that she's now unconscious.
So is her turn removed? Go on.
Diana's out.
We'll ignore it for now.
Okay.
It's complicated. But meanwhile, Johann manages to slowly bring himself back up to his feet, still very wobbly. Let's see how your endurance does. Don't you dare roll another nat 1.
Well,
Wasn't a nat
nat
1.
Hey, but it still wasn't. It's still shit.
So as he stands up, he's still too dazed to really take much of an action, meaning he only gets to make the 1 move as opposed to everyone else's now 2.
Mhm.
And let's see, the only person he can see at this angle just got hit. As Gambling Man fans out the cards again, launching several of them directly at Ron. As they impact against you, several of them do end up sinking into your skin, and notably, one of them seems to be glowing violently. Speed. I think we use speed for like reflex-based actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Roll
so,
speed.
right?
Yeah.
All
Control speed.
I'm a chunk boy, all right? I'm a thick boy. I don't got speed.
You're just
Even though I
accepting it.
technically spec my entire fucking character around speed.
Okay, Dwight McQueen. So, as the small one glows, too slow to be able to pull it out and toss it aside before it suddenly detonates, turning into a series of small golden coins that drive further into your body.
Ah, you son of a bitch! God damn it, you fuck! I see what you
God.
did there. Fuck! God.
You are feeling pretty freaking awful at this point.
Oh.
God damn it, you people keep taking. Jesus. But it's not your turn. With E1M1.
But luckily, I still have the arrow.
That's
True.
Yeah. So my first thing is to resummon Stardust Speedway back to me.
Okay.
Mhm.
Stardust
with my-
Speedway will surge towards you, basically snapping towards your position like a freaking spring let go.
Yep. And then with my second, I look to Johann. I was like, he should have used the proper use for this arrow. And he spins it around to the arrowhead and jabs it right into the chest of Stardust Speedway.
Oh, dear.
As that happens, let's see, according to the general rules of it, so in order to overcome this, Stardust Speedway would have to... Hoo boy. Alright, so now we have to figure out what your Requiem stand would do, given the fact that Requiems develop abilities specifically built around overcoming the exact obstacle in front of them at that exact moment. Your current obstacle... Do you think it's safe to say that your current obstacle is named Tanya?
Basically, no, actually, his current his real actual obstacle is the thing that's right in front of him, right? Basically,
It's whatever you consider to be the greatest threat. For example, with Silver Chariot Requiem, the biggest threat that Polnareff faced was the idea of that man, to avoid too many spoilers, the greatest threat was that man getting a hold of the arrow, which is why Silver Chariot Requiem developed the ability that it did. And Golden Experience Requiem needed an ability that specifically would counter that man's stand ability, which is why Golden Experience Requiem had the ability that it had. So it's whatever you consider to be the single biggest threat.
Well, technically, the threat I see the most is actually his Gambling Man.
Okay. Then in that case, you'd need some. Your ability would manifest as something that counteracts or something that basically trumps his cards.
Yeah, basically an ace in the hole.
That's a bad joke.
I don't know if you're referring to my freaking trump card joke or his ace, but either way, they were both terrible, and I'm proud of that fact.
I feel insulted.
You should.
So
Alright.
so ace in the hole. I got an idea already from that.
Oh god.
Dimensional transporting fists.
Oh.
How in the
Basically,
world would that beat? Like, how in the world is that a counter? That just sounds like fist.
I mean, granted, that's really the only idea I'm not really sure the best idea, because my original idea would be like, hey, he keeps throwing cards at me, my stand becomes an armor that he can wear. So unless you want to go it that way, because I was thinking like, oh hey, he could technically cause Stardust Speedway Act 2, and since Stardust Speedway Act 2 is a supersonic race, the armored version of Stardust Speedway for some reason looks like Metal Sonic.
Well,
Similarly or not. Basically, he's a big buff boy, he now has speed.
I mean, that doesn't really...
But
you still face one really big threat. What if he just shuffles?
Yeah, because that's really the true biggest threat, because he could lose his stand at all times.
Exactly. So, if you basically...
Then, yeah, I guess that so obviously, like, it would be a thing where it would also it would have like a gamble.
Don't you pull like a what is it called? That one scythe user in Naruto who cuts people and can control their bodies. I know, but he just inhibits pain to them. But if you could control his body, you could stop him from.
Actually, how about an ability? It gains the new ability of Joker. Basically, like, it's able to pull out a card that can nullify any effects his gambling man tries to do.
So you just
could be interesting.
You just have an off switch for a stand?
Not necessarily, more or less, he has an off switch for when he tries to swap at least Stardust Speedway. Stardust Speedway can no longer be swapped.
Okay, yeah.
It was taken out of his thing.
Potentially. Though we then need to... Yeah. Okay, yeah, no. We can definitely go with that. So basically, your Stardust Speedway is no longer able to be shuffled. Cool.
Interesting. Okay.
So now he can lose E1 M1, but he'll always keep Stardust Speedway. It will always be there, no matter what.
Okay. So yeah, as you, I assume that you pose dramatically in displaying all of this as your stand undergoes a physical transformation?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to take that posing time and the transformation time as you go along with that and move on to Lilith.
Alright. Do I have the stands switched around? Sorry.
They're the same.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
You still have your Ice Flower phase.
The one that does nothing for me. Alright. I still have a bow, right? Yeah?
You do, yep.
Alright. Let's see if my luck holds true and I miss.
Are you shooting the immovable object?
That is Tanya, yes.
Yes. Alright. I'm gonna shoot her.
You're going to shoot the immovable object.
Yeah, she's immovable.
Who else?
I really hope you don't miss, because that's going to be funny.
Go ahead and roll dex.
If you can miss a target that doesn't move,
actually,
okay.
you are able to hit as the arrow shears right into and right through Tanya. As you notice, it has just punched a hole through a large collection of snakes.
But it does blow up.
It doesn't explode when it impacts against her because the snakes basically get shredded.
But the arrow itself explodes after a given time. It's like she's firing. She's basically firing arrows that are grenades.
Yes. They would explode. However, exploding after a given period of time or on a heavy impact is not quite the same as shooting through these fleshy bits. her body isn't as resilient as it was before. If you'd hit her in the pectorals when she was using anything but Reptilia, she would explode violently. But
Jesus.
in this instance, you basically shot through paper mache. The big threat is the fact that if you look at the map very carefully, she's standing in front of a stone ridge.
Ooh.
Yes. So it doesn't explode on Tanya, it explodes on the wall right behind her. Let's
Oof.
see.
1d4?
So you
Let's
mean
see
it
if she
went, like,
tumbled.
It went straight through her.
Yeah.
And out
Yeah.
It
the
went
window.
straight through her because she's made of snakes. Okay.
Oh my
Uh,
That's
God.
why I
Her
wasn't
her
understanding.
footing, given the fact that she was just frozen in place, her footing is garbage as she gets sent tumbling forward, basically having trouble even controlling her reptile-based body at this point.
Jeez.
She ends up pretty much face planting in front of Devon's barely breathing body. You note that she does not look great. She looks surprisingly pale, actually.
1d4 or?
Yes, 1d4.
Well,
Oh, sorry. Okay.
1d4.
So, yeah, I can. Ooh.
Damn.
Her body appears to be made out of various reptiles that are currently falling to the ground in a, let's just say, an Oogie Boogie-esque situation right now.
Jesus Christ, that's horrifying.
Boogie, boogie.
Meanwhile, Diana continues being unconscious.
Damn.
Very,
Robin.
very unconscious.
Oh my God.
That's a one.
That's
Holy
another one.
shit.
That's
Holy
two back-to-back
what?
nat ones.
That
And
is
then,
a one.
Mm.
Damn.
Uh,
God, this is
Yeah,
supposed to be much more dynamic and dramatic than watching you guys just freaking explode them with crits versus their crit fails.
But this makes it
Christ.
more fun for us.
That's fair.
fitting end. Hopefully,
Hmm?
no one else has to die. And I'm just gonna use ice beams again on her.
Don't try to
Dex.
freeze her in place.
Yeah.
Alright.
What was it, Dex?
Dex.
Dex.
Don't kill me.
19.
15.
You
19.
are able to hit as her body seems to freeze over once again. Let me check if she has any clutch abilities in her repertoire.
How many times can she freeze?
I think that was the last. I don't know how many times I used the TM.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I used superpower. Okay, superpower is the one. Okay. You.
Put up.
Can she even get back up from this?
Yeah, I need to check if she's got any clutch powers, but apparently my laptop rebooted, so I need to reopen the Excel spreadsheet.
Oof.
No, stop. I don't need a giant screen explaining to me that you've updated. I don't even use Microsoft Edge. Stop this.
I know who uses Edge aside from my dad.
I think Megan does.
It keeps minimizing Excel.
I use it as
Show
a
me
general
Edge.
thing, but if I'm in like Jumpchain, I have to use Chrome.
Oh. Oh my.
I
She
use
does
it.
have a clutch ability.
Oh
damn.
no.
As it impacts against her, you note that a red energy seems to surround her for a moment. An ability that, let's see. Well, if any of you recognize the name and the fact that she does have the prerequisite animal ears, you might recognize that term.
Oh yes.
As her entire body seems to give off a a bright red steam, as you note that her eyes begin to slit. Her pupils are now vertical slits as she looks directly towards Megan. It's not her turn.
That's where that
My
stuff
turn
is from.
though, still, because I can do something.
Yo, guys, I just had the scare of my life just
Yeah.
now. My light turned off, and I don't know why.
Whoops.
How can she see me? I'm still invisible.
Yes, you are technically invisible.
The bodysuit.
Have you ever seen
Yes.
No Game No Life?
Wait, shoot. Now I need to actually know something about the bodysuit because I don't remember distinctly. Do you have the entry for it saved? anywhere? The bodysuit itself?
It's not an. I just picked it up. I said I wanted something that could hide my heat from heat vision or infrared vision. So I took a bodysuit.
Oh, that's probably possible, so we'll go with it. However, she's not currently picking you up based on body heat or even on vision.
Fine. And I'm going to actually before I moved there. Before I move, I'm just gonna drop a bomb near her. Portal it.
Okay. Dex.
Awesome.
You are able to
15.
match. And I think for this version of the game, I've very pretty.
Yeah, defender wins ties.
Defender wins ties.
Like risk.
Okie doke. So.
Yeah.
With that tie, then, as the explosive goes off, she seems to more or less crouch down further and doesn't seem to get pushed back much. The force of the explosion pressing her into the ground a bit, but not seemingly doing much damage as she continues to focus. Additionally, on the fact that you kind of opened up a portal next to yourself to do that.
Turn it off.
Yeah. But there was a portal right next to you for a moment. However,
I believe it'd be
still
Buck's turn.
Not Tanya's turn.
Alright, Buck.
That boy can run.
He doesn't run. During all of their turns, he's walking.
And
he's swinging his axe behind him.
Oh my god.
He really, really hates it when somebody screws with his head.
That's fair. That's a very fair
I assume she's just on the ground.
Yes.
She's just out. So she can't dodge it if he says, oh, I don't know, swings his axe as hard as he can, like I'm talking cutting wood style, into her head.
Well, she doesn't. However, Sin knows what blood devastation is. Sin knows that one of the effects is that it's a massive hyper-awareness of the entire area around you. So, I wasn't expecting her to roll a 19 on that, I'll be frank. But as you swing down, you'll be making an opposing strength roll. So she'll be at a penalty. So she won't get her full +8.
So,
are you serious?
God.
Okay.
It's made.
That makes up for the 2 nat ones, doesn't it?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. She's coming
Diana immediately disregards Megan, surging towards Buck, and pretty much just catching the blade with her hand, even as you watch as it sinks part the way through her hand. There's a fair bit of separation between the finger side and the thumb side now, as she stands up at her full height, which, as I recall, is more than a foot taller than you.
Buck is 6 foot at max, so
yeah, she's over 7.
6, I think.
Yeah, there's about. It is Tanya's turn. Let's see. That's 1, so this will be the beginning of 2. Blood Devastation has a cap length. Can't maintain it for too long. So this is the start of round 2 of Blood Devastation, loudly declaring this. And she'll go for the melee attack at 19, 18, 17. Am I going to get a 16 next? So you don't have Reptilia, as she drives her arm directly into your weapon with the full goal of breaking it in half.
God damn.
The fist that has shorn through metal, how does your weapon hold up?
Want me to roll?
What is your weapon made out of? Tell me about it.
Okay, so the weapon itself is an odd mix of metal and stone. Because of Buck's semblance and how it eats away at literally everything it comes into contact with, he had to make it to where it would be eaten away at very, very slowly. So as parts get eaten away, he can replace them quickly with something like metal or stone. It's a weird mix of the flexible metals of Ruby, but also the stone of the same world.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think you're gonna best a 22 with the way that you described it.
Again, it's a very thick weapon, but it's also a very light weapon because of the combo it's made out of. It's also, again, it's there to be slowly and surely eaten away because of what Buck's semblance is and how strong it was back in Ruby.
Yeah.
Okay. But that does mean that it's repairable if it breaks, right?
Very easily repairable. Like, he could grab stones around the area, use his semblance to make a part and slap it back in, basically.
In that case, your weapon does break apart pretty resoundingly.
Okay, I do have one major question. Which part of the weapon is she breaking?
Let's see, you said it was a large axe?
It's a two-headed axe.
She basically, with the one hand is currently has the axe head embedded in it, and she's breaking it off around the upper three-quarter mark in order to basically snap off the entire head.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
I have to ask because it needs specification to be certain.
Okay.
Yeah. As her first action.
Yes. And her second, which again is still only going to be at +5. Cool.
Oh my god.
She does raise her arm upwards to swing down with the axe head currently embedded in her hand and wrist. However, as she does, you notice that her animal ears seem to twitch very sharply as she instead basically moves Diana off to the side with a well-placed kick. It is not comfy, does not look good, but basically Diana tumbles off a fair distance away, even as Tanya seems to stay focused on Buck.
Jesus.
Johan.
She is all for protecting. Good God.
Well, I mean, it's her partner.
That is true.
Johan has finally got to the point where he can stand up straight and talk without a slur. Aside from that, he is not looking too great. But as Gambling Man peers around him, he glares directly at Ron and says, "Give that back. You have any idea how hard that was to get a hold of?"
Oh, I can imagine. Especially considering you had to go to, like, what was it, Moesha Town, I think it was called, to found this, maybe?
What?
What, you never saw part 4?
What the hell's a part 4?
Oh, so you don't know. Huh.
No, you know what? You're probably just saying things to confuse me. Gambling Man.
Oh my god.
22. Okay. Gambling Man surges forward in order to physically assault your stand with the goal of breaking it to pieces. It manages to land several of the cards directly into Stardust Speedway before detonating them sharply. Your stand can break into clouds of dust, correct? Does it choose to do that?
Yeah, when he sees it coming, he quickly just makes Stardust explode into Stardust.
Okay. There's one issue with that.
Yep.
The arrow is still still inside of it. If you completely disassemble the entire body, the arrow will fall out.
But will the stand retain its ability?
Requiems lose their abilities when they lose the arrow, as shown by Silverchair Requiem.
So,
yes, stands lose it.
But the person does not. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, though. How fast is E1M1?
E1M1 is too damn fast.
Okay, so, just like, whoosh, he zooms in front of Stardust Speedway instead.
Okay. Roll 1d20 plus, let's see, given the circumstances, given that it's point blank, and that it's a ranged attack from a, okay, 1d20 plus 8.
All right.
Oh my god. Such high numbers.
E1M1 is the most powerful stand in the room, and right now it's in Braun's hands.
So that was plus 8, right?
Plus 8.
Yeah.
Teacher's power.
E1M1 leaps into the way as several of the cards dig into the armor and explode violently. Ron, you feel a faint breeze passing over your chest, as though you had been lightly blown upon. As you note that even though there are now scratches in E1M1's armor, there is no sign of actual damage to it.
Huh, gotta admit, guy doesn't look it, but it'd be pretty useful.
Fucking Christ.
Freaking 26.
E1M1's just like, boy, I got this.
Freaking Doomslayer intensifies in the background. Ron, it is now your move.
Okay, so E1M1 stands out of the way as Stardust Speedway reaches over and grabs Johan by around his neck, not to choke him, but
Dex
just enough to get a hold of him and pulls him in.
Dex.
All right.
As it reaches forward, you watch the gambling man actively catches the wrists of Stardust Speedway, throwing them to both sides in order to avoid letting you come into contact with Johan.
Smart.
All right, then how about this one? E1M1 zooms over and gut punches Johan.
1d20 plus 8.
Jesus Christ. Kill one.
That would be so funny if I did. Just be like, yeah, nah, bro, you can't do that today.
Yeah. You have a 75% chance of a hit.
1d20
And let's see if it hits. All right, enter.
Oh my god.
There is a sound. Not... As you hear the loud exhalation of air from Johan, roll 2d3.
Goes his rib cage, his oh.
That was a
Slash
2d3.
R2D3.
I think you meant 2d3.
My bad. Hold on.
Yeah, you're good. There goes his ribs, there goes his stomach.
Yeah, Johan is currently, it sounds like he's hacking up a lung. And given the fact that you're fairly confident you can see specks of blood on E1M1's arm now, where Johan coughed, he's not looking good, as he ends up stumbling backwards, now once again back in the position where he has trouble saying or seeing straight.
Well, also, when it does that and he starts stumbling, E1M1 just picks him up over his shoulder and starts carrying him over to Ron.
That would be a third action for the turn, which would be a bit too
That's
many.
what I'm saying. Like, that's just during everything
yeah.
else. That's just a given with what I want to happen.
Yeah.
Well, depending on how his next turn goes, that may end up happening anyway.
True,
But
yeah.
for now, we'll go through with Lilith's turn. As it seems like Tanya is currently on her last legs with her last-ditch ability, and Johan is currently coughing up blood from the force of E1M1 driving its fist into his sternum. So
Yeah,
how...
okay. So, who here has the lowest health?
Me, I have 3.
Like, on opposite
3.
team, not our team. I'm not
fuck.
that cold-blooded.
Johan, it really depends. Johan so technically, Tanya is currently in a semi-invulnerable state on a time limit. Johan is currently nearly taken out. So it really depends on how you mean low health. One's on a timer, one's actually low health.
With the timer, because,
Yeah,
it's better to
'cause
do
I've got
damage while you
plans for
can.
Johan right now, so I don't want anyone
I'm
interrupting
back.
me.
So, I'm gonna stride over there, and I want to use my mace.
When you say over there, which do you mean?
She means over there or over there? Where else over there do you think she's going?
See,
Just
and let's see
striding over
her
my
sense
unconscious
roll.
body.
She knows you're coming. Her sense roll. I really wish that had been an attack or something, but no. You see her ear twitch as she doesn't even bother looking at you, but you can nonetheless feel the intense, imposing pressure of her gaze directly on you.
Even though she's not
She
looking.
knew.
Yeah.
Because I'm not surprised by anything, ever.
You see, I would say that would be like, because she knows it's coming, Lilith has a disadvantage to her attack roll.
Well, yeah. Between both that and Blood Devastation, all of her stats are through the roof, and I almost gave away exactly how much time she has left on her timer. I'm not doing that. You almost
So,
got
Lilith, you know how disadvantage rolls work, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
What am I
So
rolling?
you wish
Strength?
to...
yes, strength. For melee attacks, it's strength.
Ooh, 7. Oh.
As you swing downwards, Tanya ends up whirling around and pretty much smacking the mace slightly off to the side, which ends up missing despite the amounts of high power force behind it. And in the process, turns her back to Buck.
Oh, that was a bad idea, bud.
Pretty
I
fast.
believe Diana is just unconscious, right?
You can hear some of the rocks beginning to shift over near there, but at the moment, she's out cold. Robin's turn.
She basically
I just no.
Man, 3 against 1. Who boy?
I just freeze over Diana over there.
You're gonna freeze her over with ice beam? Jesus. Okay.
Just like a capsule, so
She's completely stationary. So you basically auto pass it.
hey, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Okie doke. Her unconscious body is now encased in ice.
Go to sleep.
Go to
in
sleep.
your room.
Okay.
Good
Yeah.
God. Okay.
And can I I want to be here on the surface world right now with what's going on.
By the way, Tanya, let's see if there's a good representation for it. What is this? Versus that, there's not a really good icon for it, is there?
What is it?
Well, I was really hoping that there was going to be a nice little rage symbol for Tanya.
That is a little bit of one.
Can I teleport myself like in the air?
Yeah.
I want to teleport myself. What should I just? I mean,
Do is ask me, and I will pick you up. I can fly.
That is true. Yeah.
I mean that would be nice, but I have to wait until your turn, and she's gonna be back by then. I don't think she's gonna go after me. Maybe since it just iced over her friend. But I'm gonna just teleport myself. Like, fuck, she can jump pretty far, probably.
Should jump pretty damn high.
I can see up pretty far. I just teleport myself to the outline.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna wait a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Whatever's happening with Tanya is not my have to deal with anymore. And I do that.
But Tanya has turned her back to you after having saved Diana. Buck?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to think.
Okay.
She still has
Kinda
Reptilia,
patient.
correct?
Yes.
She does.
Seeing as at the moment my weapon is useless, I spin and chuck the sharp leftovers at Johan.
God.
Well, let's see. At a penalty, can
Dagger?
she... Are you serious? Again?
Oh my God.
Ooh, can I
Okay.
use that against her?
Yes, you potentially can.
When he lets go of the weapon, can he just turn his entire body and just vomit on her because she can't get back enough from him? And he just unleashes a high torrent of it?
As GM, I
Jesus.
personally wouldn't recommend doing that, but hey, you do you, my dude. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Let's figure out why it's wrong in the first place. We gotta figure it out.
Okay.
gonna
And that
happen.
is what you want to do, yes? To create that effluvium vomit pile?
Yep, right on top of her body.
Okay. The big issue with that is the air displacement from the speed at which she now chooses to move, given all of her benefits stacking. So we'll see. One, we're going to leave it to a coin flip. On a 1, your plan works. On a 2, your plan works.
The first time a critical failure was a success.
How?
So, as she charges towards it, between all of the ice and the existence of all the reptiles, she's not. You can see that the cone around her forms as she nearly breaks the sound barrier, but she's unable. There's no sonic boom to launch the effluvium away from her body as it all crashes into her body. Without the ability of E1M1 preventing the majority of the burning and being composed entirely of snakes, you watch as even as she manages to tackle the spear out of the air and prevents it from reaching Johann, half of her body is actively being eaten through by the effluvium.
Jesus Christ. Good
Tanya.
God, that's horrifying.
Tanya begins the third, and I am going to reveal it, final round of Blood Devastation.
Gosh, I'm not on the surface. Fucking H.
She turns towards Buck, as you can see that a good chunk of her arm is now exposed down to the bone, with many broken down snakes composing a huge chunk of her body. As she turns, and let's see, her authority allows her that. And with her functioning, not bony arm, she makes one last move against Buck, just barely overcoming his defense as she surges forward and drives her arm right into Buck. However, it isn't enough to sink, for example, and impale. Instead, all you really feel is a slight scratch across your abdomen before something feels very, very wrong, as you spot the nail blade on Tanya's hand.
Ooh, can I do a since she's right in front of me as well, and there's exposed bone, and Buck has very grippy, spiky hands, and that's right in front of me. Can I do a counter of just grabbing her arm and snapping that off?
So the arm that has the nail blade isn't the one that has the bone exposed.
But the other arm...
Yeah.
I assume both arms got eaten away somewhat.
Actually, only the right side of her body got hit, because when she was trying to run past you, the right side of her body was facing you, meaning that you've eaten away a good... Think of her as Two-Face if Two-Face's entire freaking body matched, which I think it did in the Batman movie. It's complicated. The main thing is half of her body is fine, half of her body... You can see more bone than after a really good steak.
Well, can I still do the thing of snapping the hand that just went past me?
Yes. You can go to snap the arm. And in the end, there's very little resistance, as you can see the bone, as you can see bits of the bone poking through the skin before. At that, though, she just seems to relax a bit. As the red as the red mist around her seems to stop, as you note she looks even more pale than she should, and collapses on the ground, even as you begin suddenly feeling as though you can't feel anything.
Does that mean she's out cold now?
She is out. And Buck, at the moment, you can see from the small scratch on your torso that almost black vein-like structures are expanding outwards from your torso.
Jesus criminy.
Do you have any abilities that would make you resistant to, the most accurate way to describe it would be divine-based poisons? Because I know you're resistant to your effluvium, but you have been very, very adamant that that is not a normal poison. That is a bacterium that breaks things down.
I don't think he does.
Can I do something that might be a bit weird?
Is it rip out the entire surrounding chunk area and throw it on the ground?
Well, I could do that, but since those veins being infected like that aren't technically a part of my body anymore. They're in my body, but there's a nice wound there for my oh-so-lovely creatures that live inside my gut, basically, to eat away at that stuff.
So it becomes a question of whether your effluvium is stronger than this.
He does have I should be dead by now, which means that he is really goddamn tough to kill. So and stubborn. So
I am taking that into mind.
Okay, just making sure.
Sin, you remember
he is
remember
really hard to kill.
Sin, I was making a joke to you before. Remember what I described her nail blade as?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So roll 1d20. The DC is going to be 16. Match or exceed.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Her nail
Christ.
blade is very, we'll say, unique. It is her second most powerful jumper tool in her entire repertoire. And unfortunately, your effluvium is not strong enough to counteract it, as you seem to be unable to move. You're between hard to kill and all of your other myriad bonuses, you are not dead. That is,
Shockingly.
yeah. Any normal human would be dead at this point. You are currently suffering from full body paralysis instead.
Wow.
And all that's left is Johann, who does not look good.
Dude, Johann's like, he's beaten
Yeah.
to a pulp. Good golly.
That Johann seems to grit his teeth for a moment before bringing his hand up onto E1M1 and spitting out fair amounts of blood before a card seems to appear, and E1M1 begins to glow. Okay. Looks like this isn't going well for me. E1M1 begins to seem to shimmer for a moment before disappearing into that small card, even as Johann seems to stumble at the lack of balance, as you notice that the card appears to have taken on a green hue. But the question now is, does that matter? It does. As he surges towards... how did I forget Ron's name? It's completely unforgettable.
I know,
Ron.
right?
Yeah, he sprints towards you, the card in his hand, as he rears backwards, and, well, you're familiar with punch ghosts, as it manifests behind him, and you can feel E1M1's same blow slugging you in the torso this time.
Oh my god.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh wow.
It doesn't deal as much damage as you basically get pushed back. You can feel the sensation of the blow inside in your chest, and you could swear that your ribs are nearly collapsed. But all it is that you're having a lot of trouble breathing now, even as that seems to be the worst of it.
Just got
Jesus
knocked out of
Christ.
me. Don't gotta worry about nothing. Just gotta catch my breath.
Johann grits his teeth and raises his arm above his head again for that classic second round swing. Unfortunately, E1, due to the hazy vision, the chloroform bomb still affecting him, the myriad blows, the fact that his sternum is halfway collapsed itself, and so many other problems, E1M1's fist crashes right next to Ron's head, shattering the stone like pieces of glass, but ultimately missing.
They're also next to a tank.
Yeah, true. So.
You know what? Thanks for bringing that up, Sin. The destruction of the area causes a shaking in the surrounding area for a moment. Oh, whoops. Come on. No, that's not what I wanted. Are you serious?
What?
Screw it. You know what? There's a tank on you guys! Tank fell on you. Shut up. Freaking hard.
How much damage does it do to both of them?
Let's see.
It's a
So-
goddamn 7-ton tank.
Whoops. Ignore that second one. That should be a 10. Okay. Ron, you took almost no damage. Freaking 2. Meanwhile, Johann gets freaking hit by the tank, and even with E1M1, he's completely knocked down, barely keeping it off of his chest with the card.
No
Dude, I
card
think
with
that's
one
KO.
card. He's Indiana Jonesing because he feels like one card.
Unfortunately, as it is, even as E1M1 begins to crack and shatter, it barely manages to shunt off the thing to the side, even as you can see Johann completely go unconscious. Because that
As you
9
do so.
was just too much.
Do you have a picture of CO?
I do. I forgot to have
Okay.
it saved, but I do. If you give me
Okay,
like
so
20
I'm just
seconds, I
gonna
can
put her down. And you
Yeah.
bring...
As the
Um,
battle finally comes to a close, with 3 losses on the part of the enemy jumpers and 1 loss on the part of the main team, there is a certain air about the from now,
so
as you can feel.
hang on. I have to do this. He walks over. Hey, look, it's like a cinematic scene. You see the hat. You see the boots come walking past, and he reaches down, grabs it, puts it on his head. That's fortune and glory.
Jesus Christ. Alright, what do you say, Corn?
But there's a certain energy to the air now, as you can see the fairly amused looking Jump looking around the area. And if I could just find the correct
Ooh,
icon.
hey, can I roll?
Well done, well done.
Yes, you can roll, but what for?
See, Buck is a person of perpetual pissed.
And he sees the thing that has made him the most pissed off.
Well, and he had one person screw with his head to the point where he got to relive horrible nightmares that he's had in his memories. And then the person that protected that person proceeded to paralyze his body. So now he's in a state of feeling like he's suffocating.
Yeah,
Why is
pretty
this
much.
person white?
Can he roll
that-
to break it and break the world and do something very demented?
Roll 1d100,
Oh.
but let me tell you, you don't have a very high likelihood of immediately breaking through.
Fair enough.
That is the
Oh,
exact
God.
opposite of what you needed.
That-
All right, you are completely unable to move, even as CO walks over and just snaps his fingers. You've defeated the enemy jumpers. Congratulations. The simulation is complete. The banking system has been approved.
Simulation, excuse me?
Well done, well done, well done, boys and girls. I knew you could do it. See, this fool ain't got nothing on my team. I know you all fantastic and fine. And I love you all, and god damn, that Magikarp was a stroke of
listen.
genius.
A perfectly fair match of 3 versus 5, as written in the
I know, right?
contract.
It's beautiful.
Congratulations. By simulation, I here use the word meaning a targeted occurrence. I do not mean that this is a digital occurrence.
She looks around. What are you saying, my good little boy? Hmm?
Oh,
Okay, first.
he appears to still be alive.
Yes,
Oh,
I am
he is?
very much
Shocking.
alive because apparently, for some reason, I'm very hard to kill. First
Theo
off,
was not looking at Ron as he snaps his fingers again, and Devin is suddenly back up to full health.
can we get rid of the tank, please? It's kind of in my way.
Right, yeah.
Once again, there's a snap of the fingers.
Thank you. Now, can you answer me a quick question here?
It is within the realm of possibility.
He points a quick finger at CO. Who the fuck are you?
I am the patron of the group that you have just fought against.
He's an old buddy, old pal, old friend of mine.
I was
Oh,
called
he
upon by
nice?
Jump in order to perform routine calculations on efficiency. What was determined was that your tendency to accumulate information results only in lost, inaccessible information. For example, how easy would it have been to win your first battle had you had fewer tools at your disposal so that you could remember them all?
okay, look, buddy, I can barely remember what happened yesterday, okay? You expect me to remember everything I have on my hand? I had planned
Precisely.
to use my semblance. Unfortunately, there wasn't really anything around here to use it on, so...
That is precisely the point. Having so many abilities, it becomes functionally impossible to remember them all. I was called in to perform a test. The 3 that you fought against were employing a experimental system known as the... He pauses to look at Jump with despite not having a face, you can see the look of distaste on his face.
He's just kind of...
Jumpchain's ultra-dimensional methodology for personal progression.
She starts to pose.
JUMPP.
Hang on, let me see.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Jump.
Yes. I prefer to refer to it as a banking system. A system that will be employed in the future in order to maximize overall efficacy and entertainment factor for Jump herself.
In other words,
Okay,
when I torture
let's
you
start.
guys, you will have more to be fun with.
Oh my.
Definitionally, you will have less things to use. Her statement
Okay,
is
you
inaccurate.
that
know.
would probably be better because I really don't like having all these abilities. They're kind of weighing me down, technically, mentally. And already, you could tell, I don't know if you've already noticed, I'm already not all up here ever since a certain someone dropped a motorcycle on my head.
That was fun.
To be fair, a motorcycle would not have been dropped upon your head had you not purchased a motorcycle and the origin that would cause you to be dropped very suddenly and sharply into a world upon your head.
Yeah, well, excuse me if I want to keep all my memories every time I go into another one of these worlds.
Choosing the origin drop-in does not sacrifice your previous memories. Choosing a non-drop-in also does not sacrifice your memories. They stack, as it were.
Mexico Luffy
He
and Cuckoo.
literally looks to Buck. He looks over to Buck and he points. Really?
The
Just
decision,
a few minutes ago, he didn't even know who we were or who I was.
yes,
It's only
that's 'cause he
recently
wants
that
me to.
Buck
Yeah.
became,
That is-
that he became Buck again.
that man specifically requested memory erasure in each instance. It was his personal decision, not the result of his backstory.
I love ripping his brain apart. It's so much fun.
Ah,
See?
I see that you're
Take off
currently
the-
paralyzed. Allow me to remove its influence.
You,
Can you
you
do
might
something
not
about
want
that,
to,
Yeah.
Oh.
CO,
I'm gonna rip out your throat and feed it to you.
do you mean my throat or Jumps?
Yes.
I see. I
knew
do
he
not
was
have a
gonna say
throat,
that.
though I welcome the attempt.
He's kinda crazy.
You have no idea how much it sucks
Also,
not being able to breathe.
aren't we
He
technically
tilts his
supposed-
head slightly. I do not possess lungs, so I cannot say that I understand the sensation of breathing. Or at least have not for quite some time.
Okay, so
I'm
again, what the
alive.
hell even are you, and why can't it seem like why can't I seem to comprehend who and what you are?
I am CO. CO, standing for Contractual Obligation. I am an existence that perpetuates contracts. Think of
I
me
know, it's
as
so
a
much fun, isn't it?
pseudo-deific being. I am one reminiscent of Jump, but I am not like Jump.
Hey, so
Okay.
I haven't been awake for, pain. That was a lot of pain. I'm fairly certain I have all my bones still functioning. I want to ask you a
That is
question, good
incorrect. You have several broken ribs.
sir. Oh, so I do. I want to ask you a question, good sir. Now, the rest of y'all may not realize this, but I don't like unnecessary murder.
Same.
I am
Well,
shook.
I would prefer not to hurt people, because I kind of had this idea in my head that especially ever since the Ruby jump, that we were kind of the hero group, because we kind of met
Looks
people who
over
were
at
actual
Megan.
assholes.
Technically, I am a hero. I gave his
You
body
murdered
to
a
the
man in
ground.
cold blood with grenades.
I gave his body
She
to the
is-
ground, and now Gaia has more nutrition. How much
She
good
is-
could that be?
One could classify Megan as a hero. Much like
You
the
literally
Punisher.
were the only one of us to kill somebody.
Much like the Punisher, she places value in the greater good. So long as more people are saved than are killed, then any number of atrocities may be justified, such as
But the Punisher is still a criminal even then.
criminal. Yes, he breaks the law.
Necessary evil.
Villain. There's a
Equal
difference between
ethics.
an evil individual and a lawful individual.
There is
anyways,
also
my
a difference
good,
between a
weird,
hero and an anti-hero.
semi-visible,
Deadpool.
my weird,
Deadpool
Yeah,
is
my-
an anti-hero. He
Yeah,
does
he's
he does
technically a
bad,
hero.
but for the sake of good. The Punisher is just an actual criminal. He does
oh yeah,
not
but he's not a
work
villain.
The same
Right.
as evildoer. One breaks the
But
law.
anyways, my good
Yeah.
fellow, my good sir, my good friendly, what's your face?
You're
I want to
flattering me.
know.
What do you request?
I want to know if you want to make a contract with me, since you seem to be in the business for doing so.
Why?
I wish to save, I believe his name was Tony, who was unfortunately his life
Yeah.
was ended far too soon. The theater of his mind was downplayed,
I
and
do
for
not
he
know who
must come
that
back
is.
one day.
One moment.
He's the guy buried in all this mess here.
No, his bones are. Kind
I see. Incorrect. There are no bones. They were dissolved by the lava.
Oh, that dude. Oh, I was wondering who Tony was.
Yeah!
dude.
Don't you forget the heartless bastard!
You were wondering
That
who it was, or the
dude.
person you killed.
Oh, that forgetless person. Yeah.
Christ. But I look at it like, I want to make a contract to get him back, to restart the theater of his life, to let him play out those days and those memories and those emotions, for him to come back once again.
You wish me to resurrect him.
Yes.
Why not
But in
simply
more
say
flash.
as such?
It
He's got
sounded
this- wait,
cooler
wait,
in
he's
my
got
head.
this bad thing with words. He can't word. He just can't use them.
Ah. We will discuss this at a
Anyways.
later point. I will tentatively say that such a thing is possible. In the future, we may discuss it further in order to establish appropriate terms for resurrection. But as you can imagine, to bring back the dead is not a cheap endeavor.
Looks at Jumpchain.
That point,
I only
I'm
did it
guessing
once.
bringing back the dead is a rather serious violation of certain factors. The easiest way would simply to take the Tony of another world, kill him, remove his soul, and place it within a functional body within this reality. However, based on your specifications, it would seem that killing another universe's Tony in order to take their soul would not sufficiently fulfill your requirements.
Okay, well, how
That
about
would be
this?
funny.
Okay, well, how about this? Why don't you use the bullshit of all this bullshit that y'all guys do? And clearly, since I've seen it in Jumpchain's room over there, wherever that starry space thing was, why don't you just go to the Dragon Ball world and get the Dragon Balls?
There are some things that not even the Dragon Balls are capable of doing. There are
granted
rules
that is,
surrounding
but
them.
that's also bullshit because the Dragon Balls are technically supposed to do anything, especially the Super Dragon Balls.
Ronald, I have a
Super
question.
Dragon Balls?
Let us say that I killed you, and I brought you back with the Dragon Balls, and then I killed you again. Could I bring you back with the Dragon Balls? The
No,
same
but-
set of Dragon Balls.
Not those, but you can bring me back with the Namekian Dragon Balls or the Super Dragon Balls.
Precisely. There are rules, but there are always methods of circumventing them. The amount of effort that it takes, however, is considerable. As I said, I will tentatively accept your contract. For now.
Well, granted, actually, didn't they modify the Dragon Balls so that you could revive anyone an unlimited number of times? But you have one less wish to grant.
Again, there are methods of circumventing the rules. They simply take effort.
Very true, very true. Jumpchain is just like giggly, jumpy in place. She's like, yay! I get to watch you be tortured
Congratulations.
more. Oh, good.
Congratulations, all of you. You've successfully defeated my 3 champions. As according to the rules, Jump shall now determine whether or not the JUMPP system is of adequate decision in order to facilitate interesting conflict.
I don't care
Yeah.
if she does. I want it to go through because,
Hey,
good lord,
buddy.
I can't keep track of all the abilities I've collected over.
She like leans down next to you. By the way, her head is about the size of your torso. She leans down next to you. She's like, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Guess what? Guess what?
You want me to punch you in the face?
I welcome the challenge, but I think you're very fun when you're being tortured. I love it. I love it so much. You guys are so much fun. You know that?
Despite not having a face, you can still see CO's scowl as he says, "You have grown more and more infantile with each passing millennium that you interact with these beings."
It's so much fun to watch them move and
Oh, you
dance and die.
Hey, how about this? You want to see something really fun? How about trying to
Oh,
see me at my
oh.
absolute best? Eh? There's a world I've been thinking about recently, especially considering we're supposed to be the heroes of this story. He looks to everyone beside him.
Morally inaccurate, but factually correct.
Technically.
Oh.
How about sending us to a world where we can actually be heroes? Say, what was that one word? Boku no Hero? Boku no Academy or something?
You like see her like step to the side. She's like now giggly. She's like, Ronald,
I hate it when people use
hold
my
that
full
thought. She disappears for a moment.
I turn around. Ron turns around to look at CO. He's like, "Did I just make a horrible, horrible mistake?"
you have not made a mistake of any greater size than you have made in the past.
That technically, I peed on Suicune once.
Yes, this is not the greatest mistake that you have made in your lifetimes.
So this isn't as bad as me peeing on Suicune. Okay.
No, this is worse than peeing on Suicune. I am simply claiming that what you did in the Ruby jump chain to your companion was worse. Now,
Which one? The hole or just being a general nuisance?
leaving you to die.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Now,
Listen, it was all part of the idea I had that if we finished the world, you would have been resurrected. I was hoping to have done it fast enough.
You get slugged
before
in the
you
mouth
died.
for trying to say that, by the way.
well, I am afraid that at this point I must depart. I have business to attend to. My 3 champions failed in their mission, but succeeded in the overarching sequence of events. I shall now be subjecting them to further jumps in order to determine the future efficacy of such things. After all, Johann had never jumped before. I am interested to see what this team of 3 can do should we meet again in the future, once again as enemies. Good luck to you, jumpers.
See ya, CEO.
Moment of
See,
silence kind of passes before. Woo! Interdimensional space travel is fantastic. We go to different universes, especially different people's voids.
Can you throw Wally back onto the field? Is that
Oh yeah,
possible?
sure. I don't have his character.
What are you talking about?
Do you have his character?
Okay, it's right there.
No. Wally, not Wally. I mean, come on, they're
Do
totally
you have,
different.
Do you have
and
his
I
character
totally...
on you? If so, put him.
You're
I
talking
don't.
about Okay.
Because I'm using a different thing right now. So let me send you his character, and then you can just shove him in. Be easier for you to do so.
So I will talk to you guys later.
All right.
Okey-dokey.
I could just see Lilith. Her character just checks out and passes out.
Yeah, just passes out. Let's see. Hero, where is... There's... I'm gonna use your Ruby one. Or should I use
Hey guys,
your...
look
Yeah,
at
you're.
me. I'm suddenly a stick figure.
Yeah.
Use your Ruby one.
Just remember, you're talking about bestest buddy.
Bestest buddy.
Yeah, there
Glad
you go.
to see that I am remembered.
There's your Ruby one.
Good,
Bet,
good
so
to know
she,
that you're still alive, at least.
Life is questionable.
She teleports in. She teleports in with both Bestest Buddy and Erebus behind her, who looks very intimidating and has massive thunderclouds popping up behind him, thunder strikes ramming down behind him as he legitimately looks like a god of pure evil, as Jumpchain, on the other hand, has Rainbow Speed next to her and giggling like a schoolgirl.
Yeah, at
Why
that,
is the
Wales,
Jumpchain thing more intimidating?
Wales points dramatically at the group and is like, "Dear God, it's the manifestation of all evils of the world, and also Airy. How you doing, Airy? It's been a while."
Yo, Erebus looks like he's
Hey.
trying a little too hard trying to be an edgelord.
Yeah,
Can
that's
you
what I mean.
Yeah, can you at least turn
He
it down on the
pops.
lighting a bit, maybe? You know, and
He's like, oh, really? Is
less
that
edge
too much?
is more edge.
Is that too much? All right. How about shadow tendrils?
No, I think Buck's got you covered on that front.
Damn,
Maybe.
Buck
you're
kind of
right.
just
Alright,
pops in
cool.
and out of shadows for a second.
Oh yeah,
All right. Fair
by
enough.
the way, bestest buddy, how you doing?
Oh, also,
I had
Kane,
somebody screw with my head that
Kane
now I
is
want to
Kane.
kill next time I see them, if I see them again, depending on how things go. That's a story for a different time. I got bit up by a thing. I've gained reptiles, turns into reptiles, turns back into person. I lost my memory again. The guy that did take over my body for a while literally was probably the nicest incarnation of me, and they killed him violently via making him remember everything he used to be, which technically killed him and brought me back. I was very angry waking up. I didn't get to kill anyone because someone, screams at Megan, decided that someone screwing with my head is preferable to keeping them alive.
It's so much
Wales points at his head. I have cat ears now.
Why do
Why-
you have
okay.
cat ears? What the hell happened to you?
Oh, I went on a different jump from you guys. What was your jump?
JoJo,
Oh,
look
you
around you.
seriously? That sounds like
Again, I have stand.
Yeah.
so much
It can
fun.
turn me into
He
reptile.
oh, that reminds me. My guy brings over his starter speedway and he pulls out the golden arrow. Can I keep this? He looks over to Jumpchain.
The answer to that
how
is
about
going to be a
no?
resounding freaking no.
Yeah, she like snaps her fingers and it just kind of disappears. How about no on that front? Anyways, my big fellow, big boys and
Yeah,
big
you didn't
girls and
pay for it.
whoever the rest of you are, this is Mr. Erebus. I am Jumpchain's #1 opponent, arch nemesis, and the one who will defeat you all in strict combat with my own jumpers.
Oh yeah, he's also the dude who was my patron for my first jump and my
Yeah,
last
yeah.
jump. We get
Okay.
along really
Real
well.
nice guy.
I kind of almost stabbed him at one point, but to be fair, that's what you get for challenging me to Russian roulette and you load the gun with swords.
Okay, look, granted. But also, let's get these things out of the way. Cain, this is Sin. Sin, this is Cain.
Hey.
You smell like a terrible person.
He kind of is.
I'm the one who's voting against murder here.
Never mind, you smell like a tolerable person.
Yeah, but he wasn't really opposed to the murdering a few episodes back.
I was totally opposed to. Okay.
Could have.
One thing you have to understand about me, Mr. Ronald McDonald, is that I don't tolerate unnecessary murder. Those life forces
Wait.
have been extinguished.
All murder is unnecessary.
Wait,
How dare you?
Sin. When Devin says Ronald McDonald, you see him just all of a sudden try to swing at you.
I just can't look at you and just let it hit
At
my
that,
chest
yeah.
frame.
At that, Wales actually kind of like prevents it from happening, being like, no, be better than him, Ron. Be better.
Sorry, it's just that was a reaction.
So Devin kind of bows to you guys, and he's like, "It was
also, by
fun
the way,
journeying with all of you."
I got told that we're going to Maka's.
Yeah, it was fun journeying with all of you, but unfortunately, I must take my duty apart from the rest of you and prevent unnecessary murder in the future for other places, worlds, and really let people graze upon the stories that we have befallen today. Let the theater of your minds, your
Pretty
soul.
sure that Jump just deletes you mid-monologue and has a giggle over it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Nobody will miss him. Well, I've already forgotten what he looked like.
Jumpchain just got pats Ron's head.
Exactly.
So, as my little buddy friend over here, she kind of gestures towards Wally,
So, yeah,
has
why
said,
is-
"You all gonna be going to Maka, My Hero Academia, not your weird, freakish spellings of it sometimes." And
At that, Wally frowns. Dang it.
Hmm?
You said, you told me it was Maka's, and he glares at Erebus. Told me we're going to Maka's.
Wait.
you know-
Did you think we were going to Makinki or something?
No,
Maka's,
McDonald's.
like McDonald's in
Maka's.
Australia.
Why would you call it Maka's?
That's what it's called in
Because
Australia.
That's what it's
Ask Zero.
called.
No, it's not. It's called McDonald's.
Ask Zero.
Call it by its name.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Clearly I'm
so-
surrounded by
yeah, so she kind of giggles at the two of you before she's like, "Now, my friend Erebus here, as he said, he has his own great big companions of gloriousness and happiness
Yeah, we met
and
them. They're
death
assholes.
people." Oh, you only met a couple of them. Don't worry about it. They have more, just like you guys do. It's so nice, isn't it? Oh,
Wait,
right,
wait,
I
wait,
forgot.
wait,
You guys are gonna
wait.
have another companion.
Wait, hang
Oh,
on.
neat. A companion is
Wait.
just a friend that hasn't stabbed you yet.
Hang
Then he
on.
pauses.
a minute.
to look
Yeah.
up.
Hey, can we stop for a moment here? I can't keep up.
Yes, Ronald McDonald.
Okay, now she brought it up on her. He fucking tries to. He climbs up her, mind you, like he did before, and goes to deck her right in the nose.
Aww.
Run.
She opens up her
no,
mouth, and your
not
hand just
the
kind of lands on her tongue.
schnoz. Kinky.
I am very horrified and yet oddly aroused at the same time. Somebody help me.
She just flings you off for like Mach 7.
Boom!
Anyways, as I was saying, yes, you guys be getting a new companion. Her name is something. Insert name here that she has not done yet.
Oh yeah, still.
She'll
has
be
done
joining you
back,
guys for the future. Yeah, and Erebus here, he has some new companions as well to keep it fair, 6v6, 3v3 on most battles and whatnot. And, you guys are all
Wait, are we still
fantastic
gonna run
companions.
that roasted guy ass?
Yeah, he's got so much better. Hasn't he, Mr. Ereboo? Erebus. Ereboo, right, yeah, whatever. Yeah, he's got so much better. He's so cute.
Jump. The one he hates most is being called Airy.
Airy! I love Airy. Anyways,
Wait, like
so...
Aries?
Yeah, like
no,
Airy.
just Airy.
Yeah, like Airy. He's an airhead. See?
Airy.
See, he's airhead.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, my good sirs. So, you all going to be going to My Hero Academia and fighting like true heroes. She looks at Ron.
Well,
At
least then you'll better see what a true hero actually looks like. Man, I can't wait to see what my power
I
is
don't
gonna be.
want
You
to be
see?
a hero.
you see her grin get so unbelievably big as she smiles around. Oh, yes. You got a fun time.
I'm sorry. I don't like
So
that
much
grin. Cause
Now,
look,
Mr. Wally, we're going to
Hey,
have a
hey,
talk. You
fucking ignore me.
Wait. Mr. Buck, we're gonna have a talk, you and I. And, Robin,
Oh, that reminds me.
good murder.
Jump. I forgot to mention something. What do I do with the robot in my basement?
Well, it depends. You see, Robin over here committed a horrible, gruesome, blood-curdling murder earlier.
Yeah, I
It
know.
was
That's where I got my
fantastic
robot.
to
Remember,
watch.
she went and killed the scientist person inside of the zombie jump. So
I
then
meant
I
this
had to
jump.
take her.
Wait.
She did it
She
again.
killed a scientist in a zombie jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, she ripped
Wait,
off
You
a
just
tail.
see Buck scream at you, and you keep calling me a murderer.
That's because you won't accept what you are, I say to him.
I killed a person in self-defense.
Still a
And
murderer.
they never existed in the first place, you stupid midget. Also, you kept me from murdering somebody, which I'm not happy about,
Oh,
because they messed with my
Bruno,
head.
Don't cry me a fucking river.
You just see Buck get in your face for a moment, and you kind of just tell that he's not in the mood for you. And he's like, should I just kill you here and now and end your little
Oh,
whatever your existence
Jesus
is?
Christ.
Fucking
Erebus
catch me
just like,
first, huh?
uh,
Say, and then disappear.
I can still see you. The eyes, remember?
No, because you can't, because I have
He-
the bodysuit on that doesn't let you see an infrared.
he can hear you.
I don't have to see an infrared. I see more than infrared. I see a lot more than infrared.
Oh, that's fair. But
I
Erebus
see,
just like,
I see
how
literally
about-
every spectrum. Buck's eyes are the top sense.
And
how
I just
about,
portal myself into my warehouse and leave. Done.
Fair enough.
A
Coward.
a.
Anyway,
Suck my ass.
I don't want to. It's dirty.
It's dirty.
Filthy murdering coward.
Yeah, you don't
As he
think,
walks
yeah,
back over to Wally.
You think so, Wally? I mean, I don't even know about her half the time, you know? She was only
Oh,
with us
good
for
God.
one jump. You weren't with us for the zombie one, were you?
No, I was. That's
What?
it's where I got my robot in my basement. He was
Yeah.
infected with the zombie virus, and then I took him to the warehouse, and I kept him alive for a really long time. It was really complicated, and turns out his name is like
Wally.
his name starts with a W. I wasn't paying any attention at all, but yeah. So now I have a cyborg ninja in my basement of my warehouse, and I don't know what to do with him.
Cyborg
Jumpchain
Ninja.
just kind of. Jumpchain just kind of
Or it's
starts
not
like
Strider?
kind of twirling.
He's definitely a gray fox.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, buddy boos. Listen here, real close. Okay, real close.
I'm sorry. Wally, do you hear some hot air going around or something?
That he
I will
slightly tilts his head.
literally eat you.
Can
He would like that.
I will literally avoid eating you.
Denial play. Okay.
He leans over and he looks up at her. What do you want, you big old baby?
He insulted me. She points over Erebus. Erebus just kind of face
Yeah,
palm.
and I'll keep on insulting you the more you be a jackass.
Okay, as
We're
I
gonna
go
have
head out to-
fun. Okay, so boys and girls. Mr. Bucky here is gonna be joining me for one-on-one personal conversation. The rest of you guys are gonna hop into that portal over there and have some fun with it. Maybe I should also have some conversation with Robin here. The two of you don't get along very well, but we might say it once. And
Can I?
W.
I want to be a part of that. I want to be a conversation.
W. You.
That's my name.
I don't know what to do with you.
Full disclosure, I mostly came back here to head into Maka's because I got kind of bored. And like, who's going to Maka's?
Well, it's her and it's him. She points out to Lilith, who's asleep at the moment, apparently standing up, and Ron, who has a stupidly big grin on his face.
Wait, so like, bestest buddy's not going to Maka's?
No, he's done a personal chat with me because apparently he wants to kill me. It's hilarious. Like, watch this. Watch it. If I put my hand next to his face. Yeah.
He just kind of stares at you for a moment. You gonna take that filthy thing away from me, or are you going to slap me? I'd prefer the latter, actually, over the former.
Yeah. Huh. Well,
Expecting to buy it.
honestly, I'm not sure that I want to go into the Hero Academia jump then. I'm not super, like, these guys might need to have a nice chat about what a hero is. He looks directly at Ron. I know it wasn't on purpose, but you did pulverize that one person in the zombie jump and turn them into a fleshy meat suit.
How many times I gotta tell you? I don't know how to work an bazooka. How?
Why did you pick it up?
Because I wanted to kill zombies. In every
fair.
5 minutes
Like I said-
video game, using the
like I said,
bazooka is the
totally
best thing to kill
accidental.
zombies.
It was totally accidental. But
Yeah, and it's
I mean,
been
you could
I
hard
recommend
to
taking some
leave me
RPG
alone.
classes.
Well, if you don't want to go, my good buddy, buddy, other
Wow,
words
I didn't know you could be
insert here.
so disgusted by being called something.
Buddy
Welcome
Boo,
to
you
LSU.
can shove your robot at them and see how he fares with them. Maybe they might have a lasting connection with him. Maybe they might fall in love with his weird robotic arms.
Oh my god, I can just throw Wallace in here. By the way, that's his name, I forgot.
She points at Ron. You must fall in love with the robot man.
Please don't.
Love him, cherish him.
He doesn't say anything to her as she's talking. He just turns around and he starts heading to the to the portal. He's about to step in, but he turns around, takes one last look at Buck for a moment, and he's basically thinking to himself, you know, maybe this time I just let it.
Hey, idiot.
Huh?
Take care of yourself, alright?
Sure.
Don't go
You do
killing
the thing.
yourself now. This world isn't as fun if you're not there. As Buck just kind of looks back at Jump, ignoring you now.
Wally waves at Ron, saying, yeah, don't die. I'm going to go soul searching and probably figure out if any of these alternate universes actually have themselves a real Makas, this Hero Macademia nonsense. So, I don't know. I'll eat a MacDonald's for you. That's how you people pronounce it, right?
I don't really know. Well,
The handstand just kind of picks Lilith up and yeets her onto you.
Have fun with my illegitimate robot cyborg ninja son.
well, either way, Buck, same to you. You know, don't die. You were probably the only best friend I've ever had.
Is that kind of sad because I kind of want to kill you?
Probably, yeah. I mean, we're both really twisted right now, and I will admit, your twistedness is definitely my fault. And if it means anything to you, I'm sorry for that. He jumps into the portal.
Bestest buddy.
So, Wally,
Right.
Yes.
you made it into your son.
Well, it really depends on how you define son, really. He kind of died a little, but I said no, that's illegal, and that if he died, I'd ground him forever, and then he didn't die, so I'm pretty sure that basically means son.
You know, with your form of insanity, I assume you've made yourself a wonderful child. Alright.
Good luck out there. I'm gonna go on some solo adventuring myself, figure out exactly what I can pull off. Especially now that I'm a cat boy.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm very
That's a
confused.
concerning statement. Now, Ari, do me a favor, and we're going to have a lot of fun with our abilities and our missions. But one rule I have: 3v3, no more, no less. Good boy.
I have one last thing to do before I disappear. Jump. I need to know. Fuck you.
Goodbye, child that I don't like. And goodbye, Wally. Alright, Mr. Buck. Before we on to your topic, I do have to ask, mysterious voice in the sky, I mean portal that leads to Megan, or Robin. Do you want to come to My Hero Academia? Or do you want a baby too?
I have like either a reincarnation version of her or like distant, not Robin, but it's like something akin to, because I keep over the abilities that I have. You get what I'm saying?
Future descendant that is also inside of a different multiple parallel universe that I'm just gonna shove all your powers onto and hope they survive. Fantastic.
Yeah, basically.
Alright, cool. She closes the portal. Hold on just a moment. Alright, cool. So, he looks at Wally. Now you, my good sir.
Wait.
It's time for us to have a fun little chats.
You said Wally, just as I was about to disconnect.
Sorry, Buck.
Okay.
Now, Buck.
Later, everyone. Auf Wiedersehen.
Now, Buck. It's time for us to have a fun little chats. A weird manic grin on her face before both you and her popped up into this, obviously the void world, but with literally no one around you. As she's just kind of smiling at you for the most part.
You're smiling.
Yes. I've had a lot of fun lately.
That is very creepy.
I'm glad you think so. You and your group have been incredibly entertaining over the past couple of, she looks at her imaginary watch arm. Probably years. I actually don't know how long it is for your human psyches. You know. Time moves on.
Depends on the person.
So, you notice that her entire, like, demeanor as she's talking kind of smooths out, I guess, instead of being the super overjoyed, hoppity-hippity 12-year-old from the, inside the world. Her entire stance changes. Like, she gets a little bit straightened up, her smile slowly starts fading into a more stoic thing. Her sword disappears, and she's just standing there with both her arms crossed. Her entire demeanor has now changed into a much, much more serious view, I guess. And she looks down at you, and she's just like... You, however, are starting to become a pain.
I mean, you're as much a my neck as you are mine, as I am yours.
That's a very fair point. However, I'm the one you're supposed to be entertaining. You have been a very entertaining person as of late. But you have a hatred, something that boils down inside of you, which makes my life significantly more difficult when you try to kill every one of the people you're around if you're having a bad day.
Jeez, it's not like that's not somebody's fault.
To be fair, I'm having fun. And your friend, Ronald, well, he's going through some stuff. Probably not best to have you break his psyche as much as he has broken yours, eh?
I don't consider him the one that broke my psyche. That's your fault, Miss Magikarp Wielder. Seriously, you're as red as they are, and as ugly, too.
Oof. That's such a mean thing. So, you want to kill me, correct?
Aye.
She spawns her sword and stabs into the imaginary ground and lets go of it. I'll give you one free shot.
Really, only one.
Mm-hmm.
You're not as confident as I thought you were.
No, I'm just bored.
Fair enough.
I'll roll me d20. I'm not used to 15. I mean, they both
Fair
equal
enough.
into the same thing, but...
I mean, fair enough. That 15 doesn't really make sense because it was rolled earlier out of me checking seeing if my macros on this side of things
Oh,
still
was it?
work.
Was it?
Yeah.
It literally just popped up for me now.
You're kidding.
I think it did. I was like looking at, I was seeing the green text, and then I told you to roll, and it popped up, and I'm like, where'd that 15 come from? Did you roll twice?
No, I didn't. I rolled that 15 like an hour ago. Because I wasn't sure if my macros on this end still work, and they do.
Oh.
I'm surprised. It's like, my macros still work. I'm surprised they aren't broken in some way now. It's been like years since I've been on this side.
It's been a while since we've been here, yeah. So, yeah, I think...
Really?
I can't. How did I not notice that? Okay, anyway.
I don't know.
I'll have to look through the footage and legitimately see if that was here later. Anyway.
I mean, I left to go check something on a different campaign. Came back, that 15 is above my green text, so...
Oh, yeah, both the green text is just, the 0 roll, and I don't know what happened. Anyways, so... How do you hear? What do you decide to do with your all of your powers at your disposal? Everything you've ever had at your disposal. She's standing there, arms crossed, just kind of bored, looking at you, right?
I mean, since Reptilia's kind of awakened because the rule of cool was a thing, T-Rex just numb on her head.
Yeah, it's like. Almost shock runs through her body. Her entire body gets, it's stuck. Head pops off, essentially like a afraid Barbie doll. Blood squirts out, and her body falls to the ground. And then she pops up behind her now dead body and just kind of looks at it. It's just kind of like, well, that was interesting.
That wasn't very effective.
Yeah, let me just, sorry, already shot the D20 just around here, but I don't really want to. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's Bucky for you. Buck luck.
She just kind of like walks up to you, takes her hand, and just backhands you so hard you're fairly certain that the entirety of your existence just snapped out of place for a second before she shoves it back together, and she just kind of looks at you. This is quite boring.
This is getting me nowhere.
It's really not. You're choosing to fight an eternal god. Literally, I have more powers than anything, and I can... Look, she snaps her fingers and makes an entire universe, and then destroys it with her hand. I literally can change the fabric of reality in my own palm. She looks at you with her face getting more and more serious as she continues going, so... I am... billions of eons old. I don't even have a concept of time anymore. Your pathetic human brains can't even measure up to the fragment of my consciousness. Do you have any idea how boring it is being able to not do anything because everything is boring? I literally can foresee any event that happens at any point in time in the future in any way, shape, or form, with the exception of Ronald. I literally cannot stop thinking. Do you have any idea how horrible of an existence that is?
Kind of, yeah, frankly. Saying
Fair.
how every time I try to think, I break the fabric of reality in every world you send me into.
That's kind of funny. I
You
just
find
kind
it
of like,
funny. I find it horrible.
yeah, well, you know, your psyche breaks, the entire world around you explodes, and I put it back together. It's fun.
This is obviously not going to get us anywhere. And I need something a bit more satisfying than just popping off a fake head.
You know, she pulls out a lifelike body of herself. You can pull off a real head.
You know, that's not surprising given your demeanor and general state of being. You said you can make realities, right?
I can make literally anything. You want a dog?
Then
She pulls up a dog. You want a dog without a brain? That's about the same. You want a dinosaur?
you very much aren't getting what I'm meaning.
Hmm.
I hate you with all of the fiber of my being because you've put me through the ringer.
Hmm.
So
I
why
can
not
imagine.
this? A deal. You
Oh.
said you can make universes, right?
She like starts like her body like changes down to about your size as she walks up to you. Yes. What kind of deal are you proposing?
Make my psyche and my soul into a universe. Well, a world. And have them, the jumpers that we've had for this time on, Ron, and all those who travel with him, except for the person you send in my place.
Hmm.
Enter that world between their jumps and try to fix me. If they can succeed within a certain amount of time, you can determine that upon your own leisure. Because frankly, I don't care.
Hmm.
If they can't fix me, I win. If they can put the pieces of Buck back together and maybe come to understand every fiber of my existence, of being able to hear creatures talk, of feeling the suffocating feeling of falling into a void for the very first time, trying to figure out how to breathe. The years between that they didn't see, like in Mystery Dungeon, where I lost any sense of pride as a person I had, where I was treated horribly for years on end, the watching the world burn around me. If they can figure out how to put the person of Buck back together, all hundreds of pieces of Buck, there's only 5 that are major events. Those 5 pieces being the major events in that world that affected my character. However, they have to find where those are if they don't remember them.
Hmm.
And they have to solve riddles. And then they can experience what I've experienced. Turn me into a world that they have to fix.
Interesting. She like starts like rubbing her hands together. And
If you
what
can do
if
that,
I win?
then I do whatever you want from that point on. I will be your personal mutt for any situation. I never am allowed to leave.
Interesting.
You can send me to go kill other teams for you. You can send me to a world to be tortured for your entertainment. You can make me and have me do anything, no matter the morality, no matter the cost to my person. I could be a head floating in here, and you could give me an entire cyborgic body just to make me go kill an entire team of jumpers for your entertainment. I will be at your beck, your call, your every whim. You could throw me back into my own world, just to toss me back into another one whenever you needed me again. I don't care. I would be at your every beck and whim. You cannot tell them of this deal. You can only tell them that I turned into a world and that they had to fix me. You cannot tell them any details of this deal. You can make it so that the Bucks only talk in riddles. They can't give them any hints. They can't force them away from any situation. They can only replay my life. Like an infinite loop.
And if you win,
Then I go home satisfied that I beat you. I'm never asked for anything again. And if any of your kind of these jump people that caused this tries to grab at me because I'm an interesting character or interesting being, you stop them.
If you win, I'll make sure your life is as peaceful as they come. You will never be interrupted by another one of our beings ever again, and you will live your life in relative peace and happiness for as long as you so wish.
This deal doesn't sound very... It sounds one-sided, doesn't it?
If I win, she raises her hand and boops your nose. You be happy. That weird ass smile pops up on her face again. You're a fun toy to play with, Buck. But really, what would surprise me more than anything in this entire universe is if you lost and smiled. So that's our deal. That's our game. I won't even have to make you do anything for me. If you lose, you just have to be happy and content with knowing that you lost to an actual god. But if you win, you get to know you beat me. And hell, I'll do one favor for you. Anything you can possibly imagine. If you win, that can be anything. It doesn't even matter what. It could even be letting Ron be truly happy in a world he goes to. Anything you want. And that's our deal. She holds out her hand.
One more thing.
If
I win, you leave him be. That kid doesn't need any of this.
I'll give him the choice to leave. If he wishes to, he may. If he doesn't, he can stay. But I would rather not pull him out of a world or a universe or even a lifetime that he is having fun with. He wanted to explore the stars, to see different worlds, to experience different existences and realities, and I am giving him that option. I'm giving him that ability. He just has to play by my rules. But if you win, I'll let him play by his for a single world, or leave. Let him be happy.
I can deal with that.
She holds out her hand.
He grabs onto it.
She shakes it. And so the game begins. It's haunting how she says that, as you can literally feel your entire existence being ripped apart. Not painfully this time, though, oddly enough, but ripped apart and fiddled with. Your consciousness is starting to be spread through like hundreds of thousands of different processes, and you start to lose connection to a couple of them, as every single one of your consciousness just hears a haunting, faint laughter as everything starts to fade to black for you.
Good luck.
And that, my friends, is where we will transition to the very end of the episode. 3, 2, 1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, please like, comment, subscribe. We're going to have a big postponed section. We're going to have like a hiatus of sorts, about a month long or so. Maybe about the middle of July, we're going to restart this. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this series so far. I know it was kind of odd having my brother be the GM kind of for this thing, and he's going to be for a future one too. Speaking of, and I'll post a message inside of the chat in just a couple of minutes here about what jumps after My Hero. But regardless, so as we said, we're going to be going to My Hero Academia after this. And again, with like Ruby, you guys can send in your submissions for different NPCs and stuff like that, and I might use them in the future. But I have a whole squadron of them. And as you guys may have guessed from here, the people who will properly be joining with their original characters will be Ron and probably Lilith. Megan's don't be changing her character. Wars don't be Wars don't be changing his character. Wally or Corin is don't be changing his character. And there's gonna be a new addition to the series as well. And then if you guys go check out the villains, which hopefully will be posted in a reasonable amount of time in the next month. I doubt it, but hopefully. You guys should be able to see how all that goes as well. There's at the very end of the villains is also another explanation kind of for the villain side about what's going on as well in a little bit more detail. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this. Go check out the description below, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Auf Wiedersehen!
Bye.